Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, you guys. This is kind of a mishmash video. There's a couple of, one or two big stories, and then a couple of updates for you. So it's kind of all smashed together. So let's just cover it and get through it, shall we? Let's go. I wanted to start out by pointing out that Charles and Camilla are on their tour of Jordan. They flew via the Royal Air Force and sustainable fuel is being used. I think that's like really cool. They met with the King and Queen of Jordan. They looked absolutely fabulous. I thought it was really cool that the Queen drove Camilla in her Tesla. I was really just so down to earth and nice. And then, of course, the Queen had some very nice things to say about Queen Elizabeth.
Really, she's somebody we hold in really high regard. Somebody I look up to personally. I think the whole world turns to her as a symbol of, just what it means to be a true figurehead and stateswoman, just giving inspiration to the rest of the world through her discipline, through her hard work, through her steady approach to everything.
And I wanted to say that although Harry tried to steal the limelight from this tour with the information he put out, which we'll be covering in just a few minutes, he really was not very successful, and the tour seems to be a big hit. Of all the photos there were, this one of Charles touching the River Jordan I found to be the most touching. Okay, moving on. William is continuing on with his conservation efforts, and he is going to be celebrating Africa's leading wildlife protectors with the Tusk Award. Last year it was virtual. This year it's in person. I think that's really cool. Next story. This is short and sweet. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to skip Christmas with the Queen due to their heavy, busy schedules. Once again, their PR team is working hard to put a spin on it. What it basically comes down to is they weren't invited. The next thing is the Queen sent a message from Windsor for the opening session of the 11th General, I hope I say this right, Synod of the Church of England, because she couldn't attend. And what really got me was that in her message, she wrote, quote, "None of us can slow the passage of time." When she writes stuff like that, guys, I almost feel like she's trying to give us a warning that something's going to happen. Ugh. I pray for good health for her. I pray that she's got several more years in her. Let's just hope. This next article really caught my attention because the FBI and the National Security Agency supposedly completely missed the most violent assault on American democracy since British soldiers burned down the White House during the War of 1812. But Prince Harry claims that he knew all about it, and he warned Twitter founder Jack Dorsey on the 5th that the tweets were going to provoke a far-right mob to storm the Capitol. Yeah. This is exactly the kind of stuff that makes me think that Harry has gone off the deep end. They literally see themselves as the warriors in a war for truth and decency, but the truth is they're fighting bad personal publicity because the two of them have now been called out as liars. The man himself and his wife who lied in court documents, who perjured herself, and Harry, who was shown to send emails where he said we need to lie, want to attack people that are spreading misinformation and lies. Ugh. Harry is now working with the Aspen Institute as a role as a commissioner on disinformation, and he created a report on how to end fake news. He announced off their Archewell site that they set out a list of 15 specific recommendations for leaders to consider adopting across all sectors. And of course, nobody's going to pay any real attention to this. Some of the stuff they want is increasing social media transparency and new proposals regarding social media platform immunity. Trying to control people's free speech is basically what it comes down to. He also wants accountability for the super spreader of lies. But considering the amount of misinformation that he and Meghan have put out, I think he's got a lot of nerve. So Piers Morgan got involved. You know how much I love Piers Morgan. And he even said, why don't you start with your forked-tongued wife? before you start lecturing other people. Not only do we have 17 identifiable either lies or exaggerations from the Oprah interview, but she just got caught perjuring herself in court. What it comes down to is nobody really wants to hear anything that either one of them has to say anymore. They're circling the drain, I think. All right, let's do an update on the story. Remember the story that came out, I should say the rumor that came out, that Harry got into a fight with some of the veterans that night, that he was giving out awards. And I have yet to see a video or any proof that that happened, but a blind item came out, and they're usually pretty spot on. And the blind item said that the reason there was a fight was because apparently there were cameras everywhere and sound guys everywhere. One of the veterans supposedly said something, and the Netflix sound guy said, "Could you reword that a little differently?" And the guy was like, "Are you insane?" And that's what started the fight. Still waiting on some video proof, though. Another blind item came out that was very interesting, talking about how Omid forgot to mention in his book that Meghan had raged for days after being told she wouldn't be getting an engagement ring that was worth 6 figures. You know how Kate's ring has that huge stone in the middle? Apparently, Meghan wanted a huge emerald, one that came from Princess Diana's headband, and she was told no. So when she finally got her engagement ring from Harry, do you guys remember when she said this?
And
it's beautiful, and he designed it. It's incredible.
yeah,
Yeah,
make sure it stays on that finger.
of course.
What does it mean?
Well, I guess it wasn't that special, because this is how it started, a band of gold with the diamonds. After the wedding, it was her band of gold with the band of gold and the diamonds. Then she changed the band and put diamonds so you can't see the yellow gold, and added an eternity band. I guess the way he designed it wasn't all that special after all. All the money in the world cannot your heart make gold, Meghan. I think she just likes the diamonds too much. Next up, I found these in the internet. Listen to this.
When it comes to emojis and emoticons, I've got a serious problem with the chick in the red dress.
That's okay. We all have a problem with that chick in the red dress. And I found this next thing to be very prophetic. Listen to this.
You know what? There's honestly nothing as delicious or as impressive, in my opinion, as a perfectly roasted chicken.
Just a standard, typical night
It's
for
a
us.
cozy night. What we're doing, just roasting chicken and
Roasting
having
the chicken. Trying to roast the chicken.
trying to roast the chicken. And
Anybody else find that as prophetic as I did? And finally, it's Finn update time. I found him like this on the bed. I think it's hilarious the way he's able to burrow under the covers, stick his head out, and make sure that the rest of him is covered. That is one smart dog. Well, what do you guys think about Charles and Camilla's tour of Jordan? What do you think about Meghan Markle talking about how wonderful her ring was, but yet changing it, and the blind item that said she really wanted a ring with one of Diana's emeralds in it? What do you guys think about Harry's psychic ability to detect what was going to happen on January 6th when nobody else could? And what do you think about his blatant attack on free speech? What about the other blind item? Do you guys really believe that that fight took place during the Intrepid Awards? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future uploads. You know you can follow me on Twitter. You know you can email me. If you donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys have a great day.